Ultimately, it's all about gaining more power on the world stage. Power that allows nations to shape the world in their own vision. Countries use different tools to gain power. Some use their position at global bodies, others use money to dictate terms. China is using both. It wants a seat on the high table. Its checkbooks to buy silence and compliance. Take the case of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is looking for a financial lifeline to avoid defaults. And instead of going to the IMF, the Rajapaksas dialed Beijing. They made another request for a loan, and they're pushing their country deeper into Chinese debt. Our next report tells you more.
This visit is more than a photo op. When China's top diplomat Yang Jiechi visited Colombo, he was greeted by the Sri Lankan president, no less. Why? Because the Rajapaksas want a financial lifeline from China. According to a report, Sri Lanka needs cash to service more than $15 billion worth of debt. Negotiations are underway for a new loan. Another $700 million to add to Sri Lanka's giant pile of debt. This is the third loan request by Colombo to Beijing this year. First, China granted an urgent loan of $500 million to Sri Lanka for the fight against the Wuhan virus. By May, the Sri Lankan cabinet wanted to borrow another $80 million to improve 105 kilometers of roads. With this latest request, China seems to have become a lender of last resort for Sri Lanka. The country's external debt is mounting. According to an estimate in April, Sri Lanka owes close to $3 billion to its lenders this year alone. By 2018, Sri Lanka's debt to China stood at $5 billion in total. Considering the new loan requests, those numbers will only grow by the end of this year. By reaching out to China for help, Colombo seems to be ditching the International Monetary Fund. This is a major shift. In the last 55 years, Sri Lanka has reached out to the IMF 16 times for a bailout. But the island country has had a complex history with the lender. Sri Lanka has completed only 9 out of 16 IMF programs. In recent years, Chinese lenders have swooped in to replace the IMF. In 2018, Sri Lanka secured a $1 billion syndicated loan from China Development Bank. According to another report, the Bank of China agreed to give a $1 billion loan to Colombo last year. The Wuhan virus outbreak has dented Sri Lankan government revenues. Credit ratings agencies have downgraded Sri Lanka, leaving the country with few options to borrow funds. Sri Lanka finds itself in a debt trap. It is borrowing more money to repay existing lenders, doubling down and piling on more Chinese debt. If Colombo continues on this path, it could meet the fate of Pakistan, and China will have another vassal state in South Asia. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION, World is One.